Transportation projects that receive federal funding may not adversely affect public land unless there are no feasible alternatives and all avoidance and minimization measures have been implemented. Section 4F protects public lands including public parks, recreation areas, wildlife refuges, and properties eligible for the National Register of Historic Places. Section 4F, as it pertains to cultural resources, is discussed in the Cultural Resources presentation. Section 6F protects public recreation facilities that received Land and Water Conservation Fund Act money for construction or purchase. To screen for 4F resources, the LPA should use a variety of resources including the U.S. Geological Service Protected Area Database, Google Earth Parks and Recreation Areas, the City or County GIS Mapper, and the National Register of Historic Places. The LPA should provide a description of any 4F properties near the project in the RER, and a description of what, if any, impacts may occur. Impacts to Section 4F resources are called uses. The term use means to adversely impact or to occupy a Section 4F property. Common types of use include right-of-way or easement acquisition, restricting access, or temporary occupancy for construction purposes. The link provided contains detailed information on different types of Section 4F use that can be used by the LPA. Section 4F uses are categorized as de minimis, temporary occupancy, enhancement exception, and individual evaluation. Uses categorized as de minimis cause minimal impact when considering all avoidance, minimization, mitigation, or enhancement measures. De minimis uses require public involvement and also require Federal Highway Administration concurrence. An individual evaluation is needed when the Section 4F use exceeds or does not fit the previously described categories. Individual evaluations require public involvement and Federal Highway Administration concurrence, and they trigger a categorical exclusion 2 that requires additional NEPA documentation. Individual evaluations can cause substantial project delay. An enhancement exception occurs when the project purpose is solely for preserving or enhancing an activity, feature, or attribute that qualifies the property for Section 4F protection. Enhancement exceptions do not require public involvement or Federal Highway Administration concurrence. However, like temporary occupancy, enhancement exception does require concurrence with the official who has jurisdiction. Temporary occupancy occurs when the impact is so minimal it does not constitute a Section 4F use, or the use is temporary, minor, without adverse impacts, and the land is fully restored to original condition or better. Temporary occupancy uses do not require public involvement or FHWA concurrence. However, the official who has jurisdiction, for instance the City Parks Director, must concur with the determination. A Section 6F resource is a public outdoor recreation facility acquired or improved with Land and Water Conservation Fund grant money. All 6F resources are also 4F resources, but not all 4F resources are 6F resources. To determine if a 4F resource is also a 6F resource, go to the Missouri State Parks website and search the county where the project is located. The 6F resources in the county will be displayed. Conversion of a 6F property requires mitigation or replacement land of at least equal value and recreational utility. De minimis findings do not satisfy 6F resources. The local public agency or its consultant must coordinate with Land and Water Conservation Fund recipient and the federal agency to complete the 6F land conversion or transfer. Completing the land conversion or transfer is often a 1 to 2 year process. The LPA should provide MoDOT the project location, project description, right-of-way or easement information, road or trail closure information, and any known 4F or 6F resources associated with the project. The LPA is responsible for the 4F documentation and 6F coordination as required.